Yeah, you gotta leave, leave that alone. There we go. Alright, we're alive. Thank God. It's been a while. There's been a lot of things happening. I've been busy. I've also been getting older. Okay, let's just sort OBS out. OBS is having its geriatric moments. 29, I wish. I remember 29. It was the first year I was married. The second year, really, yeah. I suppose it depends on how you count it. Just cleaning up a bit more crap. Why? Ah, this. I was going to say, why isn't there enough light here? It's because one of my lights is actually off. There we go. That's on. Hey there. Laptop, Mark, Marcel. Let's see, Branimir. Hello, Branimir. It seems a little related to Boromir. Does that mean you're going to die on stream? About 10 minutes in. Reparador, Christos. Reha oven, yep. Yep. Okay. By the way, the birthday was a little while ago. Not a lot while ago, but a little while ago. So we got our stencils and we got our templated boards. These are V-score snap-off. So I just have to like go and then and they break apart. Well, there's a mistake on them already that I've spotted, but we'll live in spite of the mistake. And I think I've just worked out how I want to do this too. I'm just going to tape. I'm going to tape this top edge sort of around about there. Actually, no, there will be good. I'll stop it drifting when I'm trying to stencil. I also got some fresh solder paste. This is actually Chip Quick, funnily enough. This is 6337, but I've got some SAC 305 coming. When it comes to solder pasting, for some reason I do try to actually move over to lead-free process, and SAC 305 is pretty nice. ZZ Top, no. XZZ is one of the biggest repair software systems out there coming out of China. And the reason why I'm mentioning this is because they have a lot of data locked up, a lot of board views and schematics that we don't have access to. It's sort of a case of, okay, they get the information out of the various companies like Apple and whatnot by sneaking it out or copying it, whatever, but they keep it behind their own paywall, and it's like, feels a bit like a no Westerners club. So like, I'm sorry, you are from the wrong side of the planet, therefore we don't want to freely share with you. So anyway, I'm decoding their file format, and so far I've managed to get the network names, and we managed to get the board outlines, and now we've actually got the hard part, which is I've got to try and find out where the part names are and the pin names, because even though it should be in there, it looks like it's either encoded. It doesn't look like it could be base 64 on top of UTF-8 or I don't know what, or maybe they're using XOR encoded stuff, but it seems a bit strange because the network names are in free and visible and everything else is free and visible, so I don't know why they would bother to XOR encode their part names and pin names, but yeah, gotta go look for it. Let's see. Okay, so that stencil's sorted out now. Thank you, Monsieur. Edamres. By the way, you can see the oven right behind me right there. Finally got things sorted out. Anyway, with these boards, there is a mistake, and yeah, not much I can do about it. But you'll notice that the USB-C ports here, they're facing each other. So I can only actually fit one, and it obstructs the other. So the easy way for me to fix that is just snap it in half and just do two at a time, which is fine by me. The proper way to do this is to have an offset between the boards. So you'd like have it like that, and you'd have some sort of just standoff for the board, and also a snap off that would allow you to have them next to each other. So I'll try it. Now I've got to work out which way I'm going here. It's not as easy as I thought it would be to do it this way. Well, how unusual, Mr. Daniels, how unusual. I was going to put fiducials on this, but I thought, nah. But now I'm thinking, you're an idiot. You should have put fiducials in there. Because it would have made it easy for me to line this sucker up. I think I might have to cut the stencil, because this is actually quite awkward. Okay, that one's lined up. Maybe what I can do is, once I've got it lined up, I can put in some jamming or something like that to stop it moving around. Yeah, that should work. Let's see. Could have helped if I wore glasses. And I've still got a stencil squeegee issue. Still haven't decided on what I'm going to use. I need to get a nice metal one. I've got a really shonky plastic one. I'll see if that... Where did I put that? I had it like this afternoon. And then I got distracted because I had to deal with the fur kids. The little rat bastards are getting very demanding at the moment because we have closed off one of their pens, one of their roaming areas, because it had a whole new fence installed. And I haven't yet received the anti-jump out stuff for it, and so as a consequence they're all jammed into a small area at the moment, and they are not approving of it, and they let me know very clearly that they are not approving of it. Okay, I wonder if this will do the trick. It's a little bit gnarly. Let me just get a feel for this. It's kind of got the right sort of flex level. We'll give it a go. It's got the right sort of flexiness. I don't know whether to open up the chip quick or whether to use up some... I found this old tube. This is just... This will be getting a bit old now. Date of manufacture, 8... Oh, okay, it was only last year. Nice and wet. Oh, that's terrible. Yeah, that's frickin' terrible. You can tell it's terrible because it's got all different thickening. That's okay, we'll get the alternative. Actually, I've got a metal one. I knew it was a bit dodgy, I didn't realise it was going to be that dodgy. Throw that straight in the bin. Here you go, bin. Have yourself a dodgy spudger. So I sort of need one of these, but much wider. Yeah, I'm kind of up the creek here. I didn't think this through. How normal. I'll have you all know that I've sort of just decided to run this stream on the spur of the moment, which is probably not a good idea. Anyway, I need to get a broader spudger. That much is clear in life, okay? No need No need to be yelling at me, you little nuisance brats. Fortunately, this stuff's good for 24 hours. Hey there, Jason. Thanks, Vince, for the cake. I've actually been eating cheesecake, funnily enough. And yes, it is 50 years of age. I actually thought it was going to be Penta something, but it's not. So, do you wish to make a deal with the devil? That's where you get your Penta ones from. That's a little sloppy. Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to do better with this stenciling, because I can't see properly. Ah, gotcha. Might just slip one of these in under. So normally you'd scrape this back into like your reused pot. So a pot of solder paste that's obviously not pristine, but yeah, if you use it in the same day or so, it's fine. Okay, there's a little bit too much paste in general, so these are probably going to have shorts on them, but we'll live with it. And at this point I realise I've got nothing prepared for the parts, but oh well. Blackwoods in Townsville has the freeze spray that works, but it's North Queensland, and freeze spray just doesn't work in North Queensland. Even right now, in the supposed winter time, I'm running around in shorts. I even have the air conditioner on. I had to go get the air conditioner fixed in the car the other day because it's just too damn hot around here. It's ridiculous. Let's see, USB-C meters. Oh jeez, where did I put them all? Whole separate box full. It's not today, Jason. No, sorry. It was actually yesterday. Get out the good old vacuum pump, which I have foolishly spiral wrapped like that. Now I have to try and unwrap it. Should have wrapped them up separately. Oh well. There's probably not a lot of difference between the summer the winter we're experiencing here and the summer in, say, Florida. I need to get more of those containers. I think a 10-bay container set might be enough. We'll see. We'll just start emptying out parts and see how we go. Made the mistake of putting it down on the silicon pad. As soon as you do that, it can't pick it up from that. Just widen out a little bit. There we go. Pen. It's a good thing this solder paste doesn't go off in a hurry. Hey there, Arilla. Somebody's got a... Yeah, like I said, that paste application was too thick. I am going to have to do something about that stencil system. See, the trouble is, to do it properly, you really need to get yourself a nice stencil frame and a good setup. But when you're just sort of doing prototypes, you kind of don't want to go to that extreme unless you've got a machine already that builds and does the stencil framing for you. Like, I'm sure Creature's got access to one of those sort of things, or a standardized framing. I mean, I suppose this is standardized frame size, but anyway, they're the sort of people that'll just, like, you know, one tub of this paste is like, well, they'll just pour it in and they go, yeah, that'll last us half a day, and you know, we'll just waste the rest. It's weird, these shunts are not just falling out like they should. What's the matter, shunts? There's a really cheap one. Shipping probably costs $1,000. I think the biggest problem with most of the large stencil systems is just simply the wastage factor. Obviously the next time or the next batch I do, this will be quicker because all the parts are already going to be out of their strips in the boxes. And so I'll just be able to open up these containers and take the parts out, and wham bam. I'm not going to use all of these. Generally when it comes to cutting off these strips, I prefer to sort of put in kind of what I'm going to use in a month or so. I don't want to overload the little container too much. What were they? What are you guys? AP2210. 3v3 regs. Hey, Catherine. I find of all the parts, the SOT23 is the most annoying to pick and place like this. It just has this really nasty habit of catching at the wrong angle or just flipping upside down, and when it's upside down, no matter how much I do the sort of spit and drop method to flip it around, they like to always come up the wrong way, or they land on the damn desk. Alright, fine, we're going to use shaky. Yeah, you see, that's why you don't use tweezers. I'm just going to have to shake it off. I'll survive. Okay, let's put some tiny 212s in there. At this stage the oven is far from perfect, but it does seem to be working fine, and the insulation wool that I've got, which is really nasty stuff I should point out, it seems to be doing a really good job. Like, it easily gets up to 235. In fact, it overshoots a little bit too much, so I'm going to have to wind up the thermal momentum numbers. But I thought I'd just do this one tonight anyway. I've got a hair on there. Get out of there. Let's see. Right. Yeah, so my idea of using that oven, because it's, in terms of wattage per volume, it's quite good. Whereas I do have my really big drying oven, but it's only got like 2000 watts for 45 litres, so it's about 60% more thermal capability, 60% more energy going in, but 3 to 4 times more volume that it's got to deal with, so it's obviously not going to work out. Rightio. Let's see. LEDs, green. Yay! Everybody loves a green LED. Ah, geez. I just realised I'm going to have to use the microscope for this, because there's no way I can see these. Oh well. This is a good reason to use larger LEDs. because when you're sort of hard of sight, it kind of makes it easier to see them, which way the orientation is. I might be able to find it and be able to confidently place them down, but for now they look pretty difficult to spot. EC stencil fix comes with locating pins for EC compatible frames, PCBs. Okay, cool. I'll have to have a look at that. So like I said, early days. This is, this is the first sort of prototype of getting back and running after, let's say, eons ago, when I did do this sort of stuff on a regular basis. But times have changed, Mrs. Lovett. Okay, there is a, yeah. Geez, we almost sucked that one up on nostril. And now I can't tell where it's supposed to go. Somewhere down there. Yeah. No, I don't know if it heats evenly yet. Oh, jeez. You're right. This choice of LED may not have been the best choice of LED. I may have to pick a different one because I just can't see it. Like, as in, I can't see the green goes straight away against the green PCB. If I had a white PCB, it probably wouldn't be a problem. By the way, the reason why I go for the green PCBs at the moment is because they are quicker to manufacture. Like, it takes extra time to do a different color. But I think what I'll do is, these are 0603 LEDs. I might change up to 0805. Oh, yeah, I might go up to 805s, and at least I actually have a chance of seeing what I'm doing. Because if I drop down to having to use the microscope like this during manufacturing, it's just it's not worth it for me. There we go. Ew, through hole. Hello, Bob. Trust you to mention that. Yeah, really, I've got the ceramic wool and it's nasty stuff. Don't care for it one bit. Thank you very much. Okay. Let's see. I've got 10 ohm resistors that have to go there. 4K7 that goes there. Okay. $10 ohms and 4K7s. Where the hell did I put those? Let's see. 603 resistors. No, this is the USB-C meter, Catherine. Aha, 4K7. Ooh, nice big bag of them. Geez, camera, you're a little slow on the... Wow, that camera is slow on the take. Let's see, do I need a 10Ks on here? I know I need a 150. Looks like I'm going to need more things. It's funny, for a smaller board than the light, the ring light, it needs a lot more parts. Did I receive a birthday present? No. No, I don't really do that. Long since gone that presents were a thing for me. It's more a case of just go out and get your own. For me, the ideal sort of birthdays is when everybody leaves me alone and I have my own present. And it's taken many years to teach my friends and family that. Finally they understand. Let's see, what have I got up here? Let's see, 100 nanofarads, 16 volt. Well, we need those. Tank, we don't need those. Okay, I need more. Oh, Harold, right, thank you. Oh yeah, because you've got postage issues, yeah. These are just basically jelly bean caps. We'll need a couple of 1 microfarad ones though. Thank you, Keith. And yeah, I need another couple of boxes. And I've got to find out where my 10 ohmers are. 10 ohmers. Let's see. Resistor 6.3 to 10k. Okay. 36.01. We're out by a decade there. 1k3, 9k1, 1k5, 4s, 68, 68, jeez. 30 ohms, 43, 560, 910, 120. Oh, come on now, don't be like this. I know I've got 10s around here. I've got 10s and 10s of them. I mean, it's not super critical. Oh, geez, more 68s. Damn it. Hey, B-Blood, thank you for the 20. Well, there you go. There's a birthday present I can celebrate. Thank you very much, B-Blood. .603 caps. Oh yes, USB-C is horrible. Yeah. I mean, it should have been a glorious standard, but it, well, didn't turn out that way. One microfarad, 10 volt, yeah. 1 microfarad, 25 volt, yeah. 0.135, yeah. Seriously? I should have a huge spool of the ones I'm after. Oh well. 135, a bit too much. Well, we use the 1 microfarad 10 volts. We're only putting 5 volts in anyway, so it's not a problem. Ah, don't touch the... Okay. Still need 10 ohms. I don't know why I can't find a 10 ohm spool. I'll draw them off another bunch of containers that I've got. Yeah, we've got a bunch in here. And we also got the 150s. Feel like I'm doing drugs or something. That combined with my little dime bags. Okay, there's a bunch of resistors floating on the top. We have no idea what the values are, so therefore... Oh, look at all these that we wasted. I should be able to pick them up with a magnet. They had high hopes for their futures, and now they just end up in the bin. They do have the values marked on them, but it's just not worth it. Alright, let's get back to sucking. The blowback on this is a little bit annoying, but there's not much I can do. It's like when I don't have my finger on the to create the vacuum, it has the blowback. It's just because of the way the diaphragm works inside the aquarium pump. It can be improved, but the question is, should it bother to be improved? No, oh, we got it. Haha. Still early days again for me. Once I sort of get into the groove of it, hopefully things will improve. In terms of speed. Fortunately, placement isn't hypercritical, thank God. Otherwise I'd be a ruined person now. These are just the jelly beans. Missed it. Just sort of throw them everywhere on the board. Whatever sticks is the correct number engineering wise. Yes. Okay, I got a pair of 1 microfarads. Ah, yeah, that's right. Tom, I just got these from AliExpress. Just, it seems to be the same model sold by many people. And I say it works up to, you know, having maybe 20 parts on your board. Then after that it starts getting a little bit cumbersome. By then you probably should look at pick and place machine or a slave, one or the other. Let's see, 1 microfarads now. Just realised that I'll probably... Actually, I don't know. I don't know what the voltage of the LCD drive generator is. So I actually don't know if my 10 microfarad... sorry, my 10 volt units is going to be enough. I didn't look at the spec sheet for that. So basically for the LCD panel, to generate the drive voltages for the segments, yeah, for the LCD itself, they have a flyback, or not flyback, a voltage doubler, or tripler. Given that I'm running off 3.3, I can't imagine it'll be going over 10 volts, so I think we'll use the 10 volt ones. Yeah, I saw the thumbnail for the Raspberry Pi thingy cooking. I used to watch pick and place videos many years ago. It's quite astounding watching those machines just spit parts down so fast. It was just amazing. And of course I can only imagine it's faster, although they've probably gotten to the point now where it's more about doing everything parallel, because I can't imagine they get too much faster. Alright, I think all our parts are there. Now we've got to put the sockets on. Sockets. Where are you, sockets? USB connectors. So we need 8 of the USB-Cs. And 4 of the USB minis. Oh, plus I just realised I gotta put the LCD panel connectors on. That's the LCD, ERC802 or something like that. Yeah, I've got a fresh box of them. Okay, we've got no connectors in there. Hilarious. But it's the only one they have anyway for that. Here we go. All the wrong connectors. I don't know why they keep sending me this type of connector. I fair warn you that this could very easily, and most likely, will turn into a pile of crap that needs an absolute ton of rework. Hey Greg. I really should have just done one at a time, but I figure they're not such a complicated board that I can't rework it. Like if things go wrong, I can get in there and deal with that manually. Okay, the big problem with these LCD connectors is there's no real there's no physical keying to lock it into place. So I basically have to align it best I can and hope that surface tension does its job. We'll just have a look under the microscope to try and fix them up. There's going to be some other horrible alignments going on there. Yeah, that one's actually pretty good. Tolerable. Horrible. So the caps are terrible too. So that there would have led most likely to a tombstone. My own, perhaps. Okay, no, that's not a missing part. That's a spare part for a feature that you don't get to see. Yeah, there's another tombstoner. So it's good to do it into the daylight when you're fresh. Not going to get an OLED creature, you know that. How dare you even insinuate that there was even a possibility. Oh, for God's sake, what is wrong with this camera? Really? Is the benchtop that bland and boring to your camera? I have no idea what's going on here. Why is there something wispy there? Okay, something's interfering with that camera. Please stand by. Yeah, I don't know what's obstructing that camera. I can see something curly and fluffy up there, and no, it's not what you think, you sick people. Come here, compressor. Let's do your job properly. No, camera's crapped the bed. Nope, still down and out. Wow, what's going on with you, camera? Don't die on me now. Oh dear, we have problems. We're not getting any image up. Like when I look up there, there's no image. I'll just transfer these first. and then I'll come back to the camera. Wow, nothing. What the hell? What's happened? Oh, my little camera. Yeah, I've definitely got nothing showing up on screen here. This is really problematic. Let's see. Well, I'm going to start the reflow. Let's go to face cam for the moment. Okay, here goes anything. The clacking is the shutter, the external shutter. Error occurred. Please turn off unit and then turn on again. Yeah, we've tried that a couple of times, buddy. Okay, I'm just going to disconnect a few things. Actually take it off the assembly. This is one that Jim Hook sent me. They're good cameras. So that's it there. So I'm just going to see if it comes up on its own. Oh yeah, okay, there was a noise in there that shouldn't have been in there. Because there should be just the clack of the shutter closing. That's fine. Oh, we're back. Yeah, something's a bit amiss there. That's not good. Might have to get myself another one. Damn it, the other day I just saw someone selling a, what do you call it, a Sony A5100 for a good price, and I didn't bother with it because I was like, no, I've already got enough stuff. I can't afford anymore. Literally cannot afford to get any more because we've just been spending absolutely buttloads of money on the fencing for the kids. I mean, it's $20,000 for the fencing. It's just kind of a little bit excessive now. And then we've still got probably another 6,000 or 7,000 for a night pen enclosure, and then everything else that comes with it. So yeah. Okay, we're alive now. There we go. It's going to drift a bit as it settles itself down. They are a good camera. I mean, it's lasted me a few years now, and it was second hand in the first place. And but yeah, they're a good camera. Okay, we're starting to get smells from that. I'm trying to put on the fan. Hey, Rob. Okay, you can't actually see it, but we've just switched over to the preheat mode, which is where it ramps up from about 120 to about 165. The whole cycle takes around about 6-7 minutes. Yeah, the oven is on. I can smell it and I can see the temperature. This is really something I need to put outside somewhere. You know, somewhere where it's got open air. It's okay. There's the insulating wool between the top of it. Only gets to about 40 degrees on there. Believe me, the insulating wool does a good job. It's terrible stuff to handle, but it does do a good job. Yes, Rob, first run. So we're sitting at 165 at the moment, 4 minutes just gone past. Let's even get a zoom in on that. I'm going to regret this probably. There you go, you can watch the oven in all its glory. Okay, we're sitting at ramp 1 point. It'll sit at 170 for a little bit, which is 170 is just before the melting point for the leaded. I wish I could show you on the inside, but I can't. And then once it's sat here for another 10-20 seconds, it will then start the full ramp up to 235. One thing I found with this oven is it actually overshoots 235 quite severely. It will get to like 245 if I'm not careful. The whole purpose of all this staging and ramping is just to bring... Okay, here it goes. So now it's going to go up to 235. We're at 5.5 minutes. It starts out a little bit slow because it does take time for those heater elements to actually generate heat. Yeah, Bob, when I was doing that insulating stuff, I had thick leather gloves and yeah, I just did it outside, all that sort of stuff. There was no way I wanted it anywhere near me. So we're at 209, 210. This is definitely going to be reflowing. And it's shut off the elements. It shut off the elements at about 220 because it knows it's going to ride right on over. Yeah, there it goes, 235. Now the official reflow phase at 6.5 minutes. It's sitting at 240. It's supposed to be 235, but really in these ovens, it's not that critical. Hey there, Eric. I do need to put a buzzer on this though. Oh, I can see smoke coming out of it. Smoke's emanating. Okay, it says open door. I'm just going to walk out for 60 seconds so this can vent. stinky. That should do it just up a little. Okay, we're still at 100 Celsius there. Just going to use a cotton rag to take the tray out. I'm going to take the tray out so that we can inspect the whole tray left to right and see how it behaved. There's a bit of bridging on the USB-C. I expected that because I did a piss poor job of the stencil. It looks good. There doesn't look like there's any cold areas, parts where, you know, the paste didn't quite come up to temperature enough. Like I said, just a couple of bridges. Big bridge there. They'll have to be reworked. But I knew one of them was going to go that way. Can't see any tombstoning yet. Alright, we're going to take these off. I'd say if anything it probably got a bit too hot. So yeah, I need to wind it back a bit. Yeah, so you can see the bridges there, plain as day. And why I think it might have got a bit too hot, you see the discoloration of the flux residue there, so it's probably, I consider that an indicator that I'm running a bit too hot. They reflowed nicely. Only got some small balls. That bridge is intentional. Okay, we need to rework this. This is actually completely disconnected on that side. And so is that one. So it looks like this, the sensor chip's going to be our drama maker. That's the one that I accidentally flipped over. And they're all good. So far, most of the problem just seems to be because of my bad stenciling. But yeah, definitely a bit too much heat. It's the same here, so that's a good indication that it's the same there. That lets us know that the heat across the width of the oven is quite consistent. Yeah, that actually has done its positioning properly. A little bit drifted out there and there, so that one there. But again, that's workable. Oh, freaking terrible. Yeah, well, I'm definitely going to have to work on making sure these get aligned right when I put them down. That at least is in the right spot. We've got one pin there that's not even connected. Again, stenciling issue. And again, same discoloration on the flux. So in terms of actual heat across the width of the oven, it's good. But we just have to improve on our stenciling. I'm happy about that. That means the oven is workable. Yeah, creature, I know it's not. You've mentioned it before, and I know. I know. Well, actually, the intentional bridge was alright. The real problem was just that my placement of the chip onto the paste was wrong. It's fixed. I would never trigger you, creature. We've known each other for so long. Why on earth would I do that to you? I mean, aside from the misalignment, you know, not pulling itself in far enough some parts because of my horrendous... Oh wow, that one also didn't... Oh, I'll have to check the stencil, maybe a bit of junk. No, that doesn't make sense. Because if it was just... That is weird. There must be a hole in this... must be an emission on the stencil. I'll have to check that. It would make sense if it was only on one board, but it's on all of the boards. So far it's on 2 of the boards. By the way, those are our data plus data minus lines, and we've deliberately left them disconnected. We're only passing the CC 1 and 2 through. So that one's fine. Yeah, it's definitely missing there. Okay, so there's something wrong on the stencil for that pen. Or rather in the Gerbers I sent him or whatever. Seems a little strange though. Really awkward trying to get... Yeah, the pad is small, but it's still well within the capabilities of what they can laser cut. So this here is a very clear disaster. We're going to have to just reflow that. Oh, thank you, America, sir. Hugo, I'm sure if you ran a thermal camera on that oven, it would be terrible. But I got to say this much: even on its first attempt, it did much better than the other one that I won, the commercial one that I bought. Because the commercial one, we got the very center was okay, but then everything outside of that was a complete disaster. Okay, so that one's reworked. Alright, so we've got a significant bridge there. Weird. Okay, this one has it connected. That is really weird. So one of them does have it. but the other 3 do not. Rob, I didn't have any luck with the decoding of that, finding strings in there. I'm kind of wondering whether they're base 6.4 encoded UTF-8 or something else. It's getting to the point where I feel like I'm going to have to install the software and start fiddling around with bits, but I don't know if it will read the PCB files directly. You go for this sort of oven, it's going to be a major overkill to do that sort of thing. I mean, yeah, it's a brilliant idea, and technically it would be much better, but because it's such a small volume and it has a decent amount of thermal energy in there, especially now that it's got the insulation, it probably shouldn't run into too much trouble. Also, with the distribution of the heat bars, it's very even all around, because it's got 4 heat bars evenly spaced across the width. Well, we'll see how I go. If I start finding that I have cold spots or whatever, I'll consider it. But for now, I'm pretty happy with it. I guess I'll try not to fix what's not broken yet. Alrighty. Now we've got to try and flash them. If I can remember how to flash them. Oh yeah, this is going to be a change again, because this time we will be using the what do you call it, AVR dude programming file rather than the stupid Python one. Really, who the hell brings Python to microcontroller programming? Why? Okay, I'm just being obnoxious, but it's still frustrating. Oh, please don't tell me I've misplaced my programmer. I mean, that's just so typically me. Ah, there it is. Oh, it's right there all along, waiting for me. Patiently. Coolly. Calmly. All without resistance. All without incident. Hey, James Ewing. We add more solder to... What? Will you add more solder to all connector legs for better fixation? Marco Tritt's Bridge 1 and 2. Which one are you talking about? Ah, jeez. You people kill me. Let's see. Clear, clear, clear. If you're talking about that one there on UO2B, that's intentional. Clear. 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 Yeah, that one's intentional. It's what Creature is crying about. With the legs, really, that there I consider to be perfect. That is perfect. And you add more solder to that, you don't really add that much in the way of mechanical strength. Likewise that, because the strength, it's like the glue. The strength is really, for the most part, between the two surfaces. These probably, yeah, I'll need to find a way of filling them more, but they're not too bad either. let other people fill them in more if they want. Okay, programming time. Yuck. Okay. Okay, so let's see. So we're on T, 2 and 2. Now this is where the fun is, because we've actually got to change this. The compiling part's fine. It's this bollocks here that we have to change. And we should have the... Okay. Yeah, this is what we want. Oh, damn it, I should have done it in... Anyway. Bob, because I'm used to Linux and I do use macOS as well, but I prefer Linux for this sort of stuff. Particularly when you're starting to do things that the system might not necessarily want you to do. Well, here goes anything. I thought we solved this. That's right, because I had to... I know why this has happened, because I had to change... I had to build the newest AVR GCC along with everything else, just so that I could get this to work. Okay. Fuck you. The joys of when you change things around. It's probably going to bitch at these two as well. I can almost guarantee it, in fact. Yep. What if I just give permission to myself for USB 2? This is bad what I'm about to do, but forgive me. Okay, there we go. I suppose we should actually test one before we go and flash them all. Now these are the new displays. I don't really care for them as much as the original ones. These are the ones that have the backlight module on them. I have to order 1,000 of them if I don't want the backlight module on it. I mean, what the hell? So with these, it's a bit sad, but I've just got to clip them. It's kind of stupid because it's just a little LED in there. Now these ones aren't too bad actually. Those ones don't require excessive force to get pushed in, whereas the other ones did. Alright, so it looks like my phone is still charging slightly. Disconnect that, that. See if we get any response. Okay, immediately we get the thing up there. Okay, we've got the charge happening now. Oh yeah, there you go. And the software immediately picked it up. Yeah, creature, the model. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. It's just the like ERC 802 or something like that. Let me show it to you. Okay, this is for creature. This is the one that I'm using. So yeah, you used to be able to get these without a backlight. It was just you know, reflective only. But they don't offer that directly on their shop anymore, and I inquired as to if I can get them. They said, yeah, if you order 1,000, if you order 1,000, we'll do it for you. And I'm like, yeah, no. Anyway. But there you go, it works. And then, oh, the alignment is actually correct. Amazing. If you're wondering what I'm talking about. I'm running out of cable length there. Let's see, I even like put the outline on there. So it does the job. And if you're really desperate, I've left pads there that you could set up your own backlight, but quite frankly, it's not required. I've made a tweak in the firmware to suit this particular display. It wasn't a big change in the contrast compared to the original reflective one, but it was just enough to stop it having too much shadowing, like as if you're overdriven the elements or something. So I'm quite happy with how that one looks, even though it is a backlight display. So yeah, that's how it is. So I guess now I can start manufacturing these. I guess now the big problem is going to be I've got to get some more shrink wrap. The shrink plastic that I use on these, because I just realised I've run out. You can use. I probably won't use foam double sticky tape. I'll probably more use just the thinner stuff that I got, like Tessa tape. Especially now that it already is thick due to the back, due to this backlight module. So yeah, I'll put a piece of Tessa tape on there, hold it on there. I don't know, would you rather it be shrink wrapped, or would you rather it just be free and open like this? If it's free and open, you can get access to the these teeny tiny little pads here that you can short if you want to have data plus minus signal lines go through. And obviously you get free access to the back. I like having it shrinked because of the fact that when this just throws around on my workbench, I'm not worried about any sort of accidental shorts occurring. 3D printed case, yeah, sure. If someone wants to do that, they can. These are 3mm holes. I forgot the spacing of what they are, but yeah, you could easily put you could even do an acrylic standoff case if you wanted. This one's an older one, you can tell because I've got the 16-pin CH340, whereas we changed over to the 8-pin CH340. Maybe what I could do is actually I was going to say I could send you pre-cut shrink wrap and then you can shrink it, but too many people are going to fuck that up, because I know it's a fiddly process. Because you've got to sort of know when and where to hit it with the heat to make it shrink properly, and if you don't, it goes terrible. Let me see what Tessa tape I've got. I'm kind of curious to see how it goes with Tessa tape. Let's see. Oh yeah, I've got some monstrously wide stuff. This is going to be a major overkill. The grip factor of this is going to probably be too much. I'm just going to disconnect it. But it will hold it in place. This has only taken, what, 6 months now? 6 months from the first little prototypes to where we are now. It's pretty crazy. Probably cut open a window near the programming header. Yeah, unfortunately, you can't really do that with the shrink wrap too easily. What will happen is it will just go in random, sort of open up considerably more than you expect. There we go. There is a peelable film on top of these LCDs, by the way. You wouldn't really know, but it is there. And there we go. I'm actually genuinely happy about that. Burn a hole soldering on there, yeah, you can do that afterwards. Yeah. Finally everything came together. And like I said, I'm very happy with the reflow oven, in all honesty. It took a little bit more work than I was wanting, but I am happy with it. I think it's, yeah, finally I can start doing boring, repetitive work and building these. Yay! You mean like the time it takes from disconnect to that? Yeah, it's sort of like half a second or so. What are they going to be priced at? I haven't 100% decided. I'm sort of trying to evaluate relative to the rest of the market, but I suspect they'll probably be around about the 40 to 50, probably 40. Do note though that these have to be connected to a USB supply, so it has to either be connected to your PC. Yeah, don't buy these if you want this to be a freestanding unit. Only buy this if you want something that you can plug into your PC and record the data, like you can see here. Yeah, that is harder than I expected. Yeah, if you want that sort of recording ability, then yeah, get one of these. If you want something that's freestanding, stick with your other ones. Creature, you can go to hell. You can make your own. I'll let you make your own creature, and then you can displace me from the market. How's that? Does this include? Yes, it does include the software. At the moment, I've already got that running on Linux, but the way I've coded the software, it'll run on Windows or Mac OS. There won't be a problem there. Most of the code that I write is very OS agnostic, so it really doesn't matter what I compile it for, it will do the trick. Alright then. Add a battery. Well, I mean, yeah, you could put a power bank if you really wanted to, but like I said, it's the main purpose of this for me was always that I could plug it into the PC and capture the data. For the other things, I figured I've always got a PC with me, so it's always going to be available to run like that. The other nice thing is that it will also let you know, like if you have a device that's shorting out or something like that, with the other meters they don't even power on, so you don't even know what you're dealing with. But at least with this, because it's got its own external power, it keeps running. Yeah. The other thing is the milliamp reading that you'll get on this is going to be different to what you get on the self-powered ones. I should say not self-powered, the vampire powered ones, because they often don't factor out their own power consumption. So their consumption usually shows about 20 milliamps higher than what this one does. What's this? BLE streaming of data. What? Oh, blue. Creature, sometimes I wonder about you. Scoop on Windows. You compile it for the what? Compile it for the Scoop pattern manager. I've never heard of that one, to be honest. So you paid 54 Canadian for a C1. I don't know what that one is yet. Oh, that's the other thing with this. This supports the new Apple standard 28 volts and higher current, things like that. So yeah, most of the others will top out at 20 volts. This will go out to 28 volts. That's why we were waiting so long, because we had to wait for the INA 237 chips to actually come out and be available to buy, whereas all the previous ones, they're using the INA 219. To be fair, the new USB, the new OLED type units, I'm sure they probably go out to 28 volts as well. But this one does go out to 28 volts, I know that. Alright, it is almost midnight, so I'm quitting. I've got to go back to do some software coding, or rather reverse engineering, and get that XZZ file format decoded properly. I tell you, it's quite a thrill, because we managed to get the outlines of the boards, and that in itself was a bit of fun. I'll see if I can find the Discord for it. Where is it? Why is Graham's channel messaging me? Okay, there we go. Okay, so this is part of the process of deciphering this stuff. Yep, there we go, and that's the outline that we got, which you can recognize as a 3237 or 3437 or a 165. It's both sides. By the way, Rob, I worked out the how to work out what's top and bottom. It's just the odd and even records. So I think it's the odd records at the top, even records at the bottom. But yeah, so this is sort of all the process that you go through to try and decipher the data. We've only just got started. This section here is where it's getting complicated. So this was the easy bit, so to speak, and even that was a bit of a challenge. But diving into this new section, it's getting quite difficult. They're hiding text in there, and I just don't know how. But that's the way it goes. We didn't know quite how they were doing the numbers for doing the board outline. We worked it out. It just takes time. Yeah. Alright then, I'm out of here. I'll catch you all next time. Thanks for watching, and I'm glad to see that the oven works. Glad to see the boards work. finally things are come together after 6 bloody months. But I'm really happy with that oven. I genuinely am happy. The consistency across the width was great. I will tweak it so that the heat isn't quite so high, causing that flux to burn off a little bit. Although I may want to hold on that, because if I switch to the SAC 305 lead-free paste, it may actually need that extra heat anyway. So I'll probably hold off for now, because it's not really doing any harm other than giving a slight color change on the flux. And we'll see how we go with the SAC 305. Alright then, you all take care. I'll see you all next time. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you later.